Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna review Armageddon Time. But before I do that, let me give the synopsis, and this comes from AMC. From acclaimed filmmaker James Gray, Armageddon Time is a deeply personal story on the strength of family, the complexity of friendship, and the generational pursuit of the American dream. The film features an all-star cast including Anthony Hopkins, Anne Hathaway, and Jeremy Strong. So, I didn't really like the film. I didn't. I honestly found it kind of boring. Um, there was just nothing compelling to me about this film. The story, right? If just looking back at the story on paper sounds interesting, and it sounds like it would make a really great film. But the execution just wasn't there for me. Maybe you'll enjoy it, but for me, it just wasn't there. It just was. Like I said, nothing was compelling about it, and it was boring to me. And honestly, I dozed off at some point. There was even a lady at the theater that completely fell asleep and was snoring like crazy. So yeah, it's interesting in that it wasn't interesting. For what it has going for it, right? With Anthony Hopkins and Hathaway, Jeremy Strong, the story, what unfolds, you would think it would actually be like a really great film, a great period piece, but it just wasn't. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I heard. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but I think I heard that. So it's written and directed by James Gray. I think it's sort of semi autobiographical thing. So he kind of is telling his story, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think part of the reason, and I hate to say it, but I think part of the reason why I didn't find it as compelling, and I think it's because of the kid. His acting wasn't, it didn't pop off. It wasn't bad, but it didn't pop out on the screen to me. It just wasn't like, oh man, this kid is really, he's really showing his chops with his acting, and obviously, it's a skill that you can improve on, and he's young, so I'm sure you can get really better at it. But it just the whole movie focused on him. It was his story, um, from his perspective at that moment in his time, right? For him, so that's what the whole movie was about, is telling his story. And like I said, I think part of the reason why I didn't necessarily enjoy it is because it just didn't pop off for me. It wasn't. I don't know. I needed something more, and it wasn't there. So in the story, a lot of things happen to him. Anthony Hopkins is his grandfather that he really loves. He really loves his grandfather, and he dies in the movie. So that's a big thing, that right? Um, he's going to public school, and he befriends um, uh, the black kid, and he sees that the black kid is going through a lot of discrimination. Um, he has anger because in his home, he's living with his, I believe, his grandmother, and his grandmother's sick, so he's just constantly angry, and is kind of being like the class clown in class, and he's always getting in trouble. But then he befriends them, and they're good friends, and they smoke weed together at school, and so he's going through that, and they get caught, and he's also rebelling against his family, and just because he wants to be an artist, but the family wants him to be more than that, because they see the struggles that people go through, and they feel like they have this opportunity to be more than uh, than what the parents have or what they did. So that's what they want for the kids, because it's him and his brother. His brother's older; he's the youngest. So there's a lot going on in the story, but like I said, it just wasn't anything compelling about it. And that's just the weird part. Like he goes to they go on a field trip to the Guggenheim Museum, and they sneak out. Him and his buddy, they sneak out, and so a lot of things happen. And he also then he gets in, like, when he once he really gets in trouble, they send him to a private school where his older brother's going. So, like I said, a lot of things are happening. The his friend, the black kid, he's living now for a little time in the shed of his house because they want to put him in a foster home or something like that because the grandma's sick. And so, like I said, a lot of things are happening, but none of it, for me at least, was it just wasn't compelling enough for me to really enjoy it. Um, it's a weird thing, but I don't know. I think like I said, like I've said before, watch it, see for yourself. Maybe you'll enjoy it, and that'll be fantastic. But I just didn't for me. Just that spark was lacking, unfortunately. So, go watch it. Came out this weekend, obviously. Go check it out. See if you like it. Well, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like. Feel free to comment if you enjoyed it, if you saw it and you enjoyed it, or maybe you didn't, why you didn't enjoy it. Let me know. If you enjoy the content of this channel and you want to support me and you want to see me grow, it would help a lot if you would subscribe. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.